Imagine a world where the giant that is Facebook looms over millions of users, controlling our digital experiences and sometimes crossing the lines into murkier territories. It feels like a dystopian novel where a powerful entity runs amok, setting its own rules and guidelines and often contradicting its own promises. Now, what happens when such a behemoth is accused of criminal behavior against those millions of users? It's a heavy topic, one that demands our attention and action. Think about the harmonious relationship we are supposed to have with our social media platforms. But what happens when that harmony is disrupted by incessant harassment targeted at an individual? Picture this. The sheer volume of people engaged on platforms like Facebook is astronomical. In this crowded digital world, incidents of crime, yes, crime, can occur, and in jaw-dropping numbers. For example, imagine being locked out of your own account, ironically forced to adopt face recognition software to recover it, only to find out that your efforts were in vain. You give them all they ask for, yet you're met with silence. Your calls for help disappear into a void. Meanwhile, notifications bombard you constantly about posts and updates on an account to which you have lost access. It's like someone has barred your front door, but still shoves mail through the slot every day. You unsubscribe, cancel notifications, jump through endless hoops, yet nothing changes. You're trapped in this frustrating cycle with no one listening to your pleas. The evidence of your identity, everything they demand, is provided in good faith, yet the end result is a continued lockout. Your repeated requests for personal data deletion are respectfully ignored, even as they retain and utilize it for their gain, presumably enriching their coffers. This isn't just a breach of trust, it's a blatant disregard for your rights, which feels both obstructive and exploitative. Holding on to something they shouldn't, without your permission, to use for their benefit is both unlawful and crosses ethical boundaries. Imagine the repercussions. This isn't just a matter of frustrating customer service. This feels closer to violating the very laws that protect us all. Laws of creation and ownership, as they withhold what they have no legal claim to. If these actions went unchecked, shouldn't there be consequences, like prison sentences or the removal of those in power, or even the deletion of accounts unjustly managed? It pushes the boundaries of what we consider harassment. Being stuck in a system that profits from our labor without our consent or benefit is akin to digital slavery. Everyone who has faced this battle deserves justice, compensation even, for the time and peace stolen from them. More so, this isn't just a call for Facebook alone. It's a cry to all social media platforms that sit comfortably atop mountains of user data. It's a demand for accountability for any system that manipulates users under the guise of open contracts, where agreements are violated and content is improperly withheld. When an account holder calls for closure, yet encounters barriers, that's fraud. It's fraud that occurs when agreements are contravened, when promises made under the terms of service are broken. Imagine walking into a library, signing an agreement that lets you borrow books. But when you decide you're done and want your membership canceled, you discover they won't let you go. Instead, they keep charging you for visiting new wings of the library for which you never even asked access. They profit from your unwilling membership, using your name, your actions, your preferences, all without your continuing consent. That's a stretch, isn't it? Yet, isn't it precisely what some of these digital platforms are accused of? This isn't just about what's legal. Within this complex web of digital interaction, there lies a moral obligation. Platforms must become custodians of trust, not elders of secrets and silence. And when breaches occur, accountability must follow. Real accountability, not another forced face recognition, not another wave of automated responses. Now, picture a future where every user is valued, their voice heard, their rights respected, where requests don't sink into the abyss but are acted upon, swiftly, fairly. Compensating those wronged isn't just about making amends, but restoring faith in the systems we've come to rely on for connection and communication. Consider this a rallying cry, a demand for change, for fairness in the age of digital titans. If we allow them to operate unchecked, we risk a future where individuals are mere commodities, where privacy is a relic of the past, and trust an impossible dream. So in light of all this, what do we expect when these digital giants err? Isn't it time for a recalibration, a reassessment of the power dynamics that place us at a disadvantage? Users don't want empty apologies or vague promises of betterment. They seek genuine reform, driven by respect for the individual, not just the bottom line. To all social media platforms, consider this a challenge: to build a community, not an empire; to listen and act, not silence and ignore. After all, true progress means respecting the roadmap laid by the hands that guide you. Isn't that a future worth striving for? A future where the digital landscape is one where we all feel safer, respected, and ultimately heard. It's a lofty ambition, certainly, but one we must all take seriously if we are to cultivate a world online that reflects the values we hold dear offline. Let's consider, for instance, the importance of transparency. In the physical world, rules and regulations are visible, understood, and usually developed in conjunction with those they impact. Why should the rules of the digital domain operate any differently? Imagine a scenario where algorithms, often hidden and misunderstood, are demystified and presented in a way that invites scrutiny and understanding. This could serve as a cornerstone for trust building between platforms and users. Transparency, however, should not only be applied to codes and algorithms, but to the processes that evaluate and revise them. The inclusion of diverse perspectives in these conversations is vital. If a variety of voices can contribute to the narrative, new solutions and innovative approaches are far likelier to emerge. Now let's talk about empowerment. Empowerment means providing users with the tools and capabilities to shape their own digital experiences. This could manifest in the form of customizable privacy settings, comprehensive control over data sharing, and robust support systems for users encountering harassment or misinformation. The ability for users to actively participate in determining how they interact with these platforms could revolutionize the very idea of digital citizenship. And what about accountability? The call for accountability must be more than theoretical. It requires concrete, tangible actions. Whether through legislative regulation or independent review boards, there should be clear consequences for those who repeatedly fall short of their social responsibility. Companies need to be held to standards that reflect both ethical considerations and their broader impact on society. It's crucial to recognize that these steps towards equity and fairness are not just an obligation, but an opportunity. By embracing change and prioritizing user welfare, digital giants can foster loyalty, inspire innovation, and ultimately create a healthier ecosystem for all stakeholders involved. Ultimately, we must ask ourselves, what kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? The current trajectory indicates a future more scattered and divided unless we choose otherwise. Let us harness this moment, rife with potential for transformation, and steer towards a digital society that elevates the common good above all else. Now's the time to advocate and align with values that support mutual growth and well-being, transcending traditional notions of competition to embrace collective achievement. We must pave the way for a digital era that celebrates, includes, nurtures creativity, and anchors itself in the principles of humanity. Together, let's imagine and build a future that's not only possible, but essential. The journey starts now, and every voice counts.